Have you ever really thought about how the smell of coffee just fills your entire kitchen? Or how medicine somehow knows exactly where to go in your body? Well, it's not magic. Not at all. It's this invisible force that's governed by a couple of surprisingly simple, elegant rules. We're going to dive into Fick's laws of diffusion. I mean, really think about it for a second. You pop some cookies in the oven, and before you know it, the whole house smells amazing. There isn't some tiny little fan in there pushing that scent around, right? It just happens. The same thing happens when you drop a tea bag into hot water. It's a fundamental process that's going on all around us all the time.
So what is this invisible force? Well, it's called diffusion. And really, it's just the universe's natural tendency to spread things out, to move from being all clumped together to being evenly distributed everywhere.
Imagine you're in a super, super crowded room, packed shoulder to shoulder. What's your first instinct? It's to find some empty space, to move where it's less crowded. Well, particles do the exact same thing. They just naturally, spontaneously move from an area where there's a lot of them, a high concentration, to an area where there are fewer of them. And the crazy part? It requires zero energy. It just happens.
Okay, this right here is a really key idea, the concentration gradient. This is the engine driving the whole process. Think of it like a hill. If you have a huge difference between the crowded area and the empty area, that's like a really steep hill. And what do things do on a steep hill? They roll down it fast. If the difference is small, it's a gentle slope and things move a lot more slowly. This idea of a slope is going to be the key to understanding everything else.
So if we know things are going to spread out, can we actually predict how it happens? You bet we can. And that's where a scientist named Fick comes into the picture. His first law gives us the basic rulebook for when this flow of particles is nice, constant, and steady.
But before we get into the law itself, we need to know one key term: flux. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just a fancy way of asking how much stuff is moving across a certain point and how fast is it moving. It's the rate of flow.
And here it is, the heart of Fick's first law. It's actually incredibly simple. All it says is that the rate of diffusion, that flux we just talked about, is directly tied to how steep that concentration slope is. So a steeper slope means a faster flow. The more cookies you have baking, the steeper the smell gradient, and the faster that delicious smell fills the room. It's a simple but super powerful rule. Okay, but the world isn't always nice and steady, right? Things are constantly changing. What happens when the concentration is changing everywhere, all at once? Well, for that, we need the advanced rulebook. We need Fick's second law.
So if the first law is like taking a snapshot in time, telling us how fast things are moving right now, the second law is more like a movie. It's a fortune teller. It lets us predict how the concentration at any single spot is going to change over time. It's for watching the whole system evolve.
This really breaks down the difference perfectly. Think of Fick's first law as a river with a constant, steady flow. It just answers, how fast is the water moving? Simple. But Fick's second law, that's like dropping a stone into a calm pond. It's not about a steady state. It's about how those ripples spread out and change and evolve over time. See the difference? Two different questions, answered by two incredibly useful laws. All right, so this is all really cool science, but where does it actually show up? The answer is pretty much everywhere. It turns out these laws are running the show behind the scenes in some pretty amazing and everyday ways. Let's take a look. Let's start with medicine. When you take a pill, all those active ingredients are super concentrated right there in your gut. So you have a really steep concentration gradient between your digestive system and your bloodstream. Fick's laws describe exactly how those drug molecules slide down that gradient, pass through membranes, and get into your blood to do their job. Honestly, modern drug design is basically all about mastering the laws of diffusion. Now get this, the phone or computer you're watching this on, the microchips inside it, the brains of the operation, are made by diffusing microscopic impurities into silicon wafers with mind-boggling precision. Engineers use Fick's laws to calculate the exact temperatures and times they need to get it just right. Without a deep understanding of diffusion, our modern electronic world would literally not exist.
And of course, it even brings us right back to the kitchen. Ever wonder why marinating meat takes hours? It's diffusion. Those big flavor molecules are just slowly moving down their concentration gradient into the meat. Or when you salt vegetables to draw out water, you're creating a high salt concentration on the outside, which pulls the water out from the inside. It's all just Fick's laws at work.
So at the end of the day, From the tiniest scales inside our own cells to the way gases spread out in space, there is this fundamental, universal drive for things to spread out, to move from order to disorder. And Fick's laws give us this beautiful, elegant mathematical language to understand it all.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending question. If the entire universe is on this unstoppable march towards spreading out and becoming random, then how do we exist? Life is the ultimate act of creating and maintaining incredible order in the face of this chaos. So how do living things constantly fight against this universal tendency to fall apart? Well, that is a fantastic question.